Live at 5 is normally like 10 o'clock at night, but I think it is actually about 5-ish. Right, need to be able to see what we're doing. We're doing some stuff here. Yeah. Okay guys, welcome back to Robertson Co. Welcome back to another live jewellery making session. A little bit more work on our one we're in the process of making more 1mm round 9 carat yellow gold wire. Started this a few days ago. Obviously it's not the only thing I've been doing all day every day for the last, but it's an ongoing project of which I've got many. So a few live streams ago, melted some grain in crucible, poured it into a graphite ingot mould. That was one live stream. Then we peened it multiple times, which is a series of small hammer blows along the length of the ingot. And now we're in the process of putting it through the rolling mills. I think this is today's the third go, so it's starting to actually start to resemble the shape of the square shape of the wire rolling mills, and we're starting to actually lengthen, reduce the width, or well, diameter ultimately, and increase the length. So no issues to report so far. If there's going to be problems in terms of porosity and cracking, they often begin on these octagonal edges that the rolling mill puts on, and so far so good, but it's early days. But yeah, it's looking very promising. But you know, I've had things look very promising before and had to remelt them. So we're just going to anneal this. I'm going to bring it up to temp before it possibly fill up. Yeah, going to anneal this, bring it up to red hot, let it cool off a touch, and then quench it in the water, clean it in the pickle. Kind of repetition doing this. Well, not kind of, it's repetition. You can only do a few passes through the rolling mill before it works, which in itself, if you keep going, you can crack the metal through hardening in it, and if you carry on, it's obviously brittle and will cause problems. Generally speaking, when it's this size, I like to stop. I only put it through about probably 0.5, I take it down probably 0.4, 0.5 mil, which is the same amount you can really do relatively easily peening. Once it starts curling and curving, that's when you know. You can kind of, I've got quite big rolling mills. I've got small rolling mills, so I've got about 5 of the things, but I'm using the large wire rolling mills, and they don't have reduction, but they're a lot more powerful and heavy weight than the small ones. But you can still feel it get harder almost with every pass, but certainly what you can feel when you can kind of feel when it doesn't want to move as easy as it did when it was fully annealed, freshly annealed. Yeah, you can feel the resistance. You can also visually see that it starts to sort of curl like a banana. And if you've already got the potential for cracking baked in from some mistake made during pouring and previous heat treatments, the cracking will appear on the curve of when it goes banana shaped, for sure. Bananaing it not only is, if it's going to crack, it's definitely going to crack if you banana shape it. So I'm just going to hold this at quite a high temperature, heat soaking, this is called. Just make sure it's fully relaxed. Eventually this little torch alone will not be enough to get this red hot, and we'll either have to switch to the Smith's little torch with oxygen and propane, a much higher kilowatt output, or what I quite often use is the micro welder and this blazer, especially with longer bits, because you can sort of work both ends of the wire. Alright, that should be good. Let's just let that, I want the redness out of that, I'll just move it to one side to let the real red heat subside a little bit, kind of get it back to looking, albeit fire scaled to pieces, closer to room temperature than melting temperature. That redness to go, so when we pop it in the water, it just sizzles a little bit. If you put it in red hot, it tends to look like the water. It's like you've dropped something explosive in there. Yeah, you end up with like boiling water coming off of it. Right, that should be cool enough. Perfect. Right, that's now going to go in the pickle. I'm using cold pickle, so it takes longer than hot pickle. Does the same job eventually, but yeah, what would take just a few minutes in warm pickle would take probably half an hour, maybe longer in people often ask me what the cold pickle is. It's just pickle, but I haven't got it in a hot pickle pot. So you can use, it's normal jeweler's pickle, the strong kind. But I just haven't, I haven't got it in a bain-marie type setup, so I'm using regular pickle, cold. It's not a special cold pickle. Right, see you next one.